Hello! What I'm going to show you today is how I sow my carrots. Now, carrots can be sown from March all the way through to about June, July-ish time. Check the packet, the back of your packet, the instructions, because different varieties can be sown at different times. Some varieties can actually be sown in February and some have to wait till April. But we're at the very end of March now, and I thought, well, I'm going to sow my carrots now. Now, I've got lots of different varieties of carrots, and I've actually put them in the same bag, mixed them all together, and I'm just going to sow them, because I thought that way it's just nice. It's a little surprise when you pull them up. So, okay, you don't know which varieties have done particularly well, but in the bag that I've got here, I've got I've got purple ones, I've got orange ones, I've got yellow ones, there's so many different varieties in there. So whichever variety of carrots you have, you need to sow them in exactly the same way. So let me show you how I sow my carrots. Now, carrots can be sown directly outside, and they are best sown directly outside. The area that you are going to sow them in, make sure that you've dug it well. Because they are a root vegetable, they need to go down. So if your soil is really hard, then what I would suggest is that you get the big fork in there, you dig it through, then you remove any large stones, and you just make sure that it's easy for the roots of the carrot to go down. Now, what I've done here is I've used my trowel, and I have made a little trough about 1/2 inch or to 3/4 inch deep all the way along, and I've put a little stick at each end so that I know where it begins and ends. And what I'm going to do before I sow the seeds is I am going to water in the trough. Now, don't be stingy with the water. As you can see, I put quite a lot of water in there. That's absolutely fine. Now, the water will go down into the soil, and that will help the roots go down. The roots, the main tap root of the carrot goes down and down and down to search for water. So if we let this water go down, then it'll encourage the carrots to go down. Now, wait until all that water has disappeared before you sow your carrot seeds. Now, all carrot seeds, this paper clip's being awkward. All carrot seeds look very, very similar. So I'm going to show you them. Now, some of these are actually green, but they've been dyed green so that it preserves the seeds. I assume that's why they've done it. So don't worry about that. Sometimes it depends where you get them from. Sometimes they are coloured ever so slightly. So those are my carrot seeds. As you can see, we've got some, actually, yes, they're green, they're not blue, but all carrot seeds look very, very similar. Now, it's just starting to breeze, so I'm going to be very careful. Now, what I need to do now is I just need to sprinkle them in this damp trough. Now, the water is there because it helps the seeds stick to the soil and stops them from blowing away if it's a little bit windy, and also they're immediately in contact with the water, so it helps them to start germinating. Now, I'm going to use my thumb and my finger, just take a pinch and then go along the trough, just moving my thumb and my finger backwards and forwards and allowing the carrot seeds to fall onto the soil. Now, if some of them go a little bit close to each other, don't worry about that. It's not a problem. The germination rate is usually pretty good for carrots. If there are some that are just too close as they are germinating, as they are growing, then you can always pick the little ones out. Don't throw them away. You can just eat them whole as little baby carrots. which is so exciting, and they're just so sweet and so lovely. So I've sprinkled those all along the line, and then all I'm going to do now is to just gently move the soil back over the seeds so that they are just covered. If you do come across any large lumps like stones or wood or anything that isn't soil, then just remove it. So I'll just carry on filling these in, and then I will come back to you. So I've done one row. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another couple of rows. Now if you do more than one row, I would suggest you leave about 9 inches between rows. It just means that they've got room to grow and room to spread, and also you can walk down in between the rows and you can weed. If the space between them is too small, then obviously you can't get down and it actually gets very difficult to weed in between. So I will do another couple of rows, and hopefully that should be enough for us. So they should start to germinate in, I reckon, a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, depends on the temperature. And when I do see them coming up, what I will do is I'll take a photo and I will stick it on my blog, or I will tweet it, or I'll most probably tweet it and Facebook it, so that you can actually see what it looks like when it comes up. So yes, carrots are on the go. It's so exciting. Now, as I say, do make sure that you remove any large lumps that won't break down, because if the carrot goes down and hits it, then it will split, and that's how you get a funny shaped carrot, which some of us, we do really like. It's lovely to get a funny shaped carrot. I think they taste better. Well, whatever varieties of carrots you are growing this year, whatever colours, I hope that they grow really, really well for you. They taste so much nicer when you've just pulled them up from the ground and you just cook them, or just give them a wash and eat them straight away. Well, I hope you are giving carrots a go this year, and I hope what I've shown you has been useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.